Fear is the number one thing that destroys successful people. It's quite often a lot of people find themselves afraid to do something new. Most of the time when people are afraid to do something, they usually tend to avoid the things that they fear or any activity that involves their fear. So for example, if you have a fear of heights, you might refuse to go on a roller coaster with your friends if you go to an amusement park. You might not want to go on a plane. You might not be too fond about going skydiving either. You'd avoid anything that involves going up really high in the sky because you have a fear of heights. You wouldn't expect someone that's afraid of heights to be working a job where you have to climb those tall radio towers and change the light bulbs every other year, right? No, because they're afraid of heights, so they wouldn't do that. If you have a fear of water, you might not have a cruise vacation during the summertime. You might avoid swimming in the ocean when you go to the beach. You might tolerate lakes, because lakes aren't as big as a vast, endless ocean. You know what's crazy about the ocean, right? And there's a fear of the ocean. There's people out there that are afraid of the ocean, but they're not afraid of the water, like to go swimming. And a big factor of why this fear exists in the first place is because we know so little about the ocean. And the ocean takes up most of, if not all, the space on this planet. Well, clearly not, because there is land mass that we inhabit. However, most of the planet's surface is covered in water. And we know more about space than we do about what lives in and how the water is and what's under the water. In the deep, darkest trenches of the oceans, we have no idea what goes on down there. As science and technology advances, we do learn more things about what is in the ocean, how the life forms in the ocean survive the environment. Not every part of the ocean has the same environment. There's going to be parts of the ocean that are hotter than others, a little bit darker than others. So these life forms learn how to adapt to their living conditions in that part of the ocean. And because we have no idea of the ocean and how big it is and all the scary monsters like Nessie or the Megalodon or even the Leviathan, we have no idea what goes on down there. So a lot of people are afraid of that. And that can almost be compared to the fear of the unknown. And a lot of people have this fear. For those of you that don't know what the fear of the unknown is, it's just being afraid of something you're not aware of, or you just don't know how it works. According to Google's AI overview, fear of the unknown is an intense fear of unpredictable or unfamiliar situations or events, or when there is a lack of information. It can also be called xenophobia or intolerance of uncertainty. And a lot of people have this fear. And this fear can manifest itself in many different ways and many different forms. Another fear that's very prevalent too is the fear of embarrassment or the fear of failure. These are very common in teenagers or young adults. They're developing and they're getting used to different social environments, whether it be school, new workforces, environments where the opinions of your peers can heavily impact you in a way. An example for the fear of embarrassment would be if you ever had a talent show at your school back when you were a little kid and you wanted to do it, you wanted to do a little act because you thought it was cool, but you didn't do it because maybe your friends talked you out of it because they were clowning you, or maybe you were afraid that you would slip up or mess up your act and everybody was going to laugh at you. So even though you didn't know any of that was going to happen, or maybe your friends were clowning you and that did happen, and you should probably get some new friends if your friends were doing things like that to you, the fear of embarrassment, the judgment of your peers impacted your decision not to do that. That can also grow and develop into different things as you get older and make you less certain to try different things. For example, that can fester into a fear of crowds, a fear of people, social anxiety, because you're so embarrassed, you're so fearful of the idea of you messing up or fumbling your words or just looking stupid realistically when you're trying to speak to someone or perform or give off a presentation. You're afraid, and that will keep you from doing those things. For example, right, let's say you're a salesman and you have a client that you have to call. Before you make that call, you're thinking of all the possibilities that may or may not happen. What if the person you're about to call is eating breakfast? It's early in the morning. Let's say it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's say they're up and they're eating breakfast, or they're at a meeting, or they're busy with spending time with their family, or they're at work, or they're doing something, and you're just giving yourself time to contemplate all these, irrational possibilities, rather than just picking the phone up, calling the client, and figuring out what exactly is going on so you can make that deal. Rather, which is what you should do rather than giving your fear time to manifest all these different possibilities to grow stronger only to keep you from doing it. You'll never ever get what it is that you want to do, and in this situation would be that phone call to that client. You'll never ever do it because you gave fear time to grow and prevent you from doing it. Fear grows off of time. If you don't give your fears time to fester and grow, it won't get to the point where it will keep you from doing whatever it is that you want to do, or whatever it is that you're afraid of doing, and you'll end up just eventually doing it. You just have to enter your actions with boldness. You can't give your fears time to manifest and to think of all these possibilities that may or may not happen to keep you from doing it. The more that you allow your fears to have time to grow, the more that your fears will dictate how you live your life. If you learn how to enter your actions with boldness from here on out, you'll be surprised of all the different things that you can accomplish and achieve. Just try it. You'll be surprised. Don't give your fears time to screw you over. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.